Yo. All right. Welcome back to another trading update. It's August 19th, and I will try to make this as quick as possible. I've written some things down here, so forgive me for looking over. But last time we updated was middle of June, and since then we have climbed ourselves out of the drawdown. So at that time, I think I was down $700-800 in drawdown, and today we're a couple $100 in the green, and that's on a year-to-date basis. So some of the things that I've changed have definitely been working, taking a step back, reevaluating kind of what trades I'm taking, what are my issues, and really the biggest thing that helped me was just capitalizing on opportunities that I believed in, that I could get confidence in, that I wouldn't interfere with the trades. And then also just continuing to practice managing trades that I was in. I got reps on a couple different trades where, the first time I'd mess up the execution, the second time I'd get a little better, and third time, kind of nail it. And so I think a lot of just continuing to get reps. Also in the middle of July, I hired a trading coach, a guy that I know who has been trading for many years, and he day trades kind of futures on the NASDAQ, but a lot of the things that he's helped me with are just kind of mindset, understanding the journey, understanding, how I should think about things, and, where maybe not to beat myself up. I'm very critical of myself, and, some of the things that he points out are very true. There'll be times where I don't know where my take profit is, and I'll overcomplicate things. And maybe there is this subconscious, sense of urgency to be, as good as I can, and it's actually hindering my ability to kind of progress, and needing to be a little bit more patient with just the process. It doesn't mean I can't work hard and do things to help myself improve, but maybe that internal urgency is hindering me in my ability to pick the right setups and avoid revenge trades or lower quality trades. Some of the things that I've done well more recently have been just avoiding kind of ranging days, and that comes with understanding relative strength in the market. I'm better at picking out names that have relative strength, days that it seems like price is moving slower and maybe we're going to chop around. Also, just kind of less OCD about certain rules that I have, and trusting kind of my analysis and my approach, and ultimately understanding that this is my business, and I have to take ownership of the decisions I make and how I want to run it. And so allowing that to kind of form, and know that, I'm going to learn and adjust things along the way. And that just, feeling less stringent on those things has been helpful. Also, not taking trades in the first 5 minutes, and just my better, higher time frame analysis as well. Year to date, I think I've taken 250 trades, and they say that you really need to prove your edge over 1,000 trades. And so for me, I'm really only about 25% of the way there. And so really just looking at kind of the next, 1 to 2 to 3 years as the establishing of that edge, and getting the reps in, and making sure that, the trades that I take and get data on are ones that I feel are going to help me improve my edge, whether it's a lesson or, a good winner. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that, and that comes with that patient approach. And my coach has also talked about just really needing to look at my trading as a business. I need to show up, professional, mature, And, I think for me, the biggest aspect is, making sure you're not being emotional in trades, and not letting, as much as you can, not letting, P&L drive things, or fear or greed drive things, and really come in with a locked in approach, with defined, stops and TPs, and just kind of gradually being able to improve that. And that's really a mindset thing, and it's not going to just happen over a couple trades. It's going to take years. I remember when I started bodybuilding, I remember I had that sense of urgency and the same work ethic that I did, but it was like, you just don't know what you don't know. And it takes experience to learn those things, and time. And, that's really what I'm realizing. And so, but the fact that I put risk management as my number one focus, that's what's going to keep me in the game long enough to hopefully be able to see a lot more of that success. I've definitely honed in. I've seen a lot of reps. I've seen a lot of what my strategy is, what my setup is. And so there's still some things that will like throw me off. And some of those I think are like analysis paralysis, overthinking certain things. And but for me, again, I have to take trades that I feel like I have a lot of confidence in. And so if something looks off and I don't have the confidence to take that trade, and it ends up being a ripper, well, then that is what it is. I need to be taking trades that I'm comfortable with. And so that's going to happen, and that's okay, because missing trades because something feels off is better than taking a trade when something feels off and then taking an L on it and feeling like, you knew you probably shouldn't have taken that. So for right now, going forward through the rest of the year, or even just kind of the next couple months, it's for me, I want to take a lot more time back testing to help me get the confidence in the setups and what they look like, and what I'm going to be confident taking. Just patience to have no trade days, and then more confidence to take my trades when they're there. So I need better journaling as well. That's something I have down here. And really just this idea of like protecting my capital like a business, and really only, having expenses and losses on things that I deem are really worthy of me giving them a shot. I would like to scale my capital throughout the rest of this year, and then I will be investing more kind of in the trading business at year end as well. So I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that I have is, it's just my rules. They're evolving, they're developing, and but the main ones are just risk management, trying to avoid emotional trading, and sticking to, the tickers that I feel comfortable with, given, they have good spread, tight spreads, lots of liquidity, and higher time frame kind of theses. I think more recently there hasn't been as many good higher time frame setups on the Mag 7 and stuff, and so there has been a bit of a lull in terms of ability to take trades. I've leaned more towards some, double levered share trades on other names that maybe don't have as good of options, and that maybe could be some like multi-day swings overnight. But that's not something that I'm trying to get in the habit of doing, but it has been working during this period. And really just going to continue to do the work every day and show up. My morning preps have been a little bit lackluster more recently at the end of the summer, with some of the lack of great setups, but I am going to get back into doing that more diligently, and really just trying to put in the work on the back end so that I can be better on the charts and in trades. So that's the update I got. I'm super hyped. I got out of that drawdown. Was literally down $1,500 at one point, back to a couple $100 green. So, my whole goal this year was to really just be break even And so now, just going to push forward with what we've been doing and hopefully continue to improve.